So in this video we're going to tie in a booby, and this is a great troller's fly because it floats because of the boobs on the front. So basically get your boobs right here, throw that on. There's a million different ways to do this. Simple way is just a little cross hatch, or 4 or 5 times this way, so many times the other way, right? And then, like, what I like to do is, after I do a few of those, so these boobs are a little bit bigger than what you'd normally use. I like to kind of squeeze them. Oop, getting rowdy in here. Whoa, what was that? Yeah. Just a couple more. As you start progressing, you can put down a little bit more pressure, right? Now, a lot of guys like to have their boobies like that, which you can do, but I usually flip it once I get it nice and secure. And I can see I'm really favoring that one other side there, but just kind of knot it down in there. It doesn't have to be too crazy. And then, as always, give yourself a good end there. And then lick your fingers. Loop knot, right? Just make the little knot around your finger. Oop. Sorry, I was looking at the phone there. And boom. And then just tighten that up. Bring this back. Then I already have my purple Maribou here, UV Maribou. And the rule of thumb is basically the tail of your leech, or whatever you want to call it, should be about equivalent to like the hook to this shank here, this little point. If you look, there's that little point right there, right? So otherwise it's kind of like gets a little out of hand, so I think they actually turn out a lot better. So just saying there. So twist my boobies back. These are bigger boobies than I normally have, which is normally kind of a nice thing, but still work. And I got these little eyeball things too I can put on here, but basically you'll just kind of get your line there. I just hit kind of the shank. Shoot the luck. Oh, that was part of my fly tying thing. That's why that's all loose anyway. Just continue. So, yeah, what I like to do is lick my fingers and slick that back, right? And you kind of find that nice little sweet spot there. And then you kind of want a bit of slack in here. And you do one loose one. Oh. And kind of pinch it in your fingers, and then I let it like fall on there, just above the shank. It's kind of a little technique. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to get those things on there, and I do about just 3. Let the second one fall, and then the third one, by that point, you can tighten up your bobbin. Not too tight. There you go. And what you do is take this back, and then you ride that all the way up to the front. Okay, so now we have all this marabou, so you just spin it. See how my bobbin's spinning like that? That's actually a good thing, because it's gonna straighten out the line so it gets flat. Okay, don't be afraid to spin this a whole bunch of times, right? There's going to be some little strays and stuff there, but I'd say that's about good. And a lot of guys, you know, you can put in wire and things like that. But like any crawny or leech, from the tail to the head, or the thorax, or whatever you want to call it, it's always tapered. So it just all that means is it gets larger as it goes towards the end. So you always want to save that slack. So you can do just a couple more wraps, right? That's why this bobbin thing's cool, or these tweezers or whatever. It kind of keeps it nice and tight like that, because you can just hold it with your fingers. I do that all the time, but and, boom. So just one more on there, and whammy. And then you just get your little snips. Just try to clean that up as best you can. It's kind of cool how this kind of made these little. See how there's two right there? I just kind of might just kind of trim a couple of these in the front and just kind of leave that. I think it gives some nice, like, kind of life to it, you know. It doesn't always have to be just exactly perfect. It's kind of like if you're cooking or something, you know, making pancakes, you need exactly a cup of flour. Go a cup and a quarter, a little bit more butter, you know what I mean. And so yeah, boom. And then up to here, and then I just like to kind of twist it up that way. And I'll show you just kind of wrap that up, right? And then I always have to lick my fingers. They're pretty dry, and I fish a lot, so those little half hitches are beauties. A lot of guys use a whip finish. I don't use a whip finish on any flies. Even my crawnies, because what I do is I leave a little bit of thread there. I'll like cut it, say on a crawny, like below, not that much, but, and then I'll use the resin to actually make my scissors are all rusty. Like, you see what I mean? You don't need everything just perfect. But yeah, this will definitely catch fish. So yeah, inspecting that. Oh, wow, that's pretty sharp. That looks pretty good to me. So some cool stuff we can do now is you can actually take these little dudes and just, you don't even have to do this. You can just use a Sharpie. It's kind of weird how that side is. It's all puckered. George. Yeah, that's right. And, yeah. Just kind of squish that one real good. And then just let that naturally come out. I don't like how this one side is all tweaked like that. Anyway, no big deal. But yeah, get your resin out here. A little bit of fun with resin. And won't be falling off after you put that on there, that's for sure. And a lot of guys will tie many flies, right? Like, I mean, throughout the day and use this resin and stuff. And I actually think, oh, George, that eye is being a jerk. I actually think that it's quite unhealthy You shouldn't expose yourself to this stuff too often. And everyone has their own technique or whatever. But Si's being a jerk. But definitely I like tying my flies for... ooh, that one went on nice. Specific lakes. So this lake in specifically is on a ranch, private lake, and every fish is probably, honestly, like 3 to 10 pounds. There are beauties in there. It's quite a swampy lake, so need like a little attractor pattern. But yeah, just use this UV light now and harden that up, and that's the finished product. This will definitely catch rainbow trout and the kootenays. And actually you can see the, interesting enough, the UV in the marabou. So that's a big advantage, is buying not just good marabou, but UV marabou.